So to keep that this kind of horror themed, especially coming up to Halloween, this next record has been one of my go-tos for years, and it doesn't matter what style of music you're into. This just transcends all different styles of music to all different people, from goths to punks to new romantics to you name it. And the record I'm talking about is Bauhaus, Bela Lugosi's Dead. I mean, what a classic record. So Bauhaus at the time was Pete Murphy on vocals, Daniel Ash on guitars, David J on bass, and Kevin Haskins on drums. So Bela Lugosi was recorded live in the studio. Now, when I say live, I mean they just jammed and recorded the thing, and it's what you listen on this record is the actual live recording. In a single take during a 6-hour session at Beck Studios in Wellingborough on 26th of January 1979. God, that seems so long ago now. You can see I've got my little sticker here, Flashback Records, because I do have another version of this, which is on a luminous vinyl, but I just couldn't find it. I remember buying this again from Flashback, which is on Essex Road in Islington. So I did buy it from there. So I love keeping my little Flashback stickers on because it reminds me of a great time buying records from there. So as I said, it was recording in Wellingborough on the 26th of January 1979. It was the first work they had recorded together 6 weeks after the band had formed. Wow, for such a new band, they just created an incredible track. All 4 members are credited as writers of the song. So that's Pete, Daniel, David and Kev. 4 additional songs were recorded during this same session. Boys, Bite My Hip, Small Faces and the ska reggae tune Harry, which was about Deborah Harry from Blondie. Recording this session, Kevin Haskins said there's power pop in there and ska too. We were trying to find our voice, and God, they did. Because I'm going to show you another vinyl in a minute, which is a reissue with all of them sessions on it, that whole original session. One of the songs recorded during the session, aside from Bela Lugosi's Dead, only Harry found an official release in 1982 as a B-side to the single Kick in the Eye. And again, that was a huge single, Kick in the Eye. A version of Boys recorded at Beck Studio later in 1979 was used as a B-side, the original release of Bela Lugosi's Dead, which is this one here. This is the original release. And I'll show you the kind of label and how you know this is the original release. The remaining tracks, including the original recording of Boys, remained unreleased until 2018's The Bela Sessions, which we're going to have a look in a second. It was released on vinyl and CD and made available for digital download by the band. Of the additional tracks, Classic Rock magazine wrote that the rest of the material finds a band fumbling for direction, even touching on ska. And it is, if you listen to, which we'll talk about in a second, you understand what they meant by that as well. This track is over 9 minutes long. I mean, that was unheard of at the time it came out. The vocals start in the studio version, which is this one here, almost 3 minutes into the track. I have heard edited versions, but it doesn't have the same kind of feeling, because the way that track builds, and you got that, them echoey bass lines, we can talk about in a minute, which is the dub kind of influence that was in that track, was achieved by using partial bar chords, whatever that means, and leaving the top E and B strings open. And that was one of the greatest things I loved about this, was that kind of dub, which I'd never really heard before, to be honest. It came across really dark, and I loved horror at the time, and Bela Lugosi was one of my favourite kind of Draculas. Still is one of my favourite actors to play Dracula as well. Classic horror film star. So he played the 1931 film Dracula. After a career decline in the later years, Lugosi died in 1956 at the age of 73. I mean, 1956, that's so long ago. He left behind so many great works of horror. It's hard to believe he died in 1956. That's so long ago. And he was already 73. Bela Lugosi, we love you, man. What an inspiration. The sleeve art, actually... I remember arguing with someone who said, no, it's from Nosferatu. No, it's not. The sleeve cover art was taken from a 1926 film, The Sorrows of Satan, directed by D.W. Griffith. And same as the back as well, which is a great image. I loved all them all black and white imagery. So in this one, you've got some guy. I thought initially when I first seen it, I thought it was just a really skinny guy, but it's actually carrying someone. To show you how great my vision is. But that's just an iconic kind of photograph as well for Bela Lugosi, but definitely that and also you can see the back wings with the face as well. Just a classic kind of iconic sleeve. So this is the original release. Now this has gone through. If you look at the back of this, it's got tea stains on it and everything. So I'd love to know the history of this. I mean, I probably bought this in probably about 30 years ago. No, maybe a little less than that. Say about 25 years ago, I bought this. So I'd love to know, where has this record been in all that time? There's odd stains on it. I think there's even a cigarette burn on the sleeve there. There's a tea stain, but I love that about vinyl. That, you know, this sleeve can tell a story, and I love that about vinyl. It doesn't need to be pristine. You know, I want a vinyl with a bit of history behind it. I want vinyl that people have enjoyed, not just me. And this is it. So the inside record, if you don't know if you can see that. So it come out on Small Wonder Records, Bauhaus. This side is Bela Lugosi, which is strange because the other side is the image, but Bela Lugosi's on this side. The other side it says Boys, and it says Teeny 2, and that's how you know it's the original release on Small Wonder Records, Teeny 2. The record's still in very good condition. The other side, you have Teeny 2, CP 1979 stereo 45, and it's quite an odd picture. It looks like a family with a nurse and a young kid, so it's quite a weird photo to have on there. Small Wonder, maybe that's a Small Wonder, but that is the original release, okay? And this still plays really well, over 9 minutes long. So as I said, I was talking about a minute ago, they did release a vinyl with the whole session, that original session, called Bauhaus, the Bela Sessions. So this is it. So this came out a couple of years ago. It wasn't that expensive actually, it's only £22, and it's still available. I do see this in record shops, HMV now. They still have this. And I think it's something that people should get, because it should be in everyone's collection. It's just such an iconic record. The hype sticker on the front says Bauhaus to Bela Sessions, Bela Lugosi's Dead, official reissue. Really clear that it says official. It's an official reissue. Complete recording sessions, previously unreleased tracks, mastered from the original tapes by Mandy Parnell, Black Saloon Studios. And I really like it when they do acknowledge the people who master these, who get these kind of new versions to us, because they play a massive part in getting these records to us. So well done, Bauhaus, for mentioning the master on here. Ruby 40th anniversary, contains 20 inch by 20 poster, 180 gram vinyl. Really good. Let's have a look inside. The artwork's exactly the same. They've just inverted the colours. If you look at the original, they just inverted it basically, but everything else is exactly the same. Bauhaus, Bela Lugosi's Dead, exactly the same. The back, you've just got the track listing, and what it says is a bit of text here as well on the back, where it goes recorded 26th of January 1979 at Beck Studios, Wellingborough. Producer Bauhaus 1919, engineer Derek Tompkins. Bela Lugosi's Dead, originally released by Small Wonder Records, Team 2, September 1979. Harry, originally released by Beggar's Banquet, February 1982. Some Faces, Bite My Hip, and Boys, original version previously unreleased. So those tracks have never been out before until now. Okay. Boys was later re-recorded at Sound Suite Studios, Camden, London, 1979, and released on the B-side of the Bela Lugosi's Dead, which is the one we have. That recording is not to be confused with the original included here, Bite My Hip, was later reworked, re-recorded, and released as a weird name, I can't even pronounce it, on Beggar's Banquet in 1983. So this was mastered in 2018 from the original tape by Mandy Parnell, Black Studios. Reissue concept, Bauhaus archives photo, written by so it's just giving information on this kind of reissue and the fact that it's an official reissue. You've got a great kind of photo of the band there as well. Inside, first thing you notice, you've got a poster. Now the poster, I mean, I do remember having this on my wall back then as well. Poster of the original sleeve. And also inside, I like it when bands do this, the inner sleeve is almost like the tape that they would have mastered it from. So it's like the original tape that they would have recorded onto the tape box, recorded it, and they would have remastered from this. And obviously that's the other side with it. On the side it's got name of the tracks, Teeny 2, scribbling out. You know, for someone who is a sound engineer, I've worked in a lot of studios, so this kind of makes sense to me when people kind of recording, cross it out, different version, who's the band, all of this. The date at the bottom there, 26th of the 1st, 1979, the original number. So this is kind of taken from, and that's the tape that would have been used to seal the box as well. So I do like what they've done there. That's really nice. And the original cover for like the magnetic tape that they would have been recorded on. So nice little touch. The vinyl itself is pressed on 180 gram vinyl, and it does feel pretty heavy and thick. You've got the classic Bauhaus logo there. And then on the back you've got Leaving Records, Bela Lugosi's Dead on one side. I can imagine that, it's been so long. Some Faces, Bite My Hip, Harry and Boys, the original. So it's definitely one to add to your collection if you want the whole kind of recordings of that particular track. And it's such an iconic track. You know, I not that I blame Bauhaus for this, but they were at the start of the whole goth thing. And they're still doing their thing now. And a great band. Pete Murphy is just a great kind of front band. If you haven't heard this record, definitely check it out, because it has influenced a lot of people. And there's just loads of bands that have covered this. And I've got a whole list here of bands who've covered this. So you've got the Electric Hellfire Club covered it for the Bauhaus tribute album. You've got Nouvelle Vague who covered it for their album. Chris Cornell, Nine Inch Nails, Trent Reznor, Massive Attack covered it. Churches covered it. Dead Cross, The Damned have covered it. So it's been covered a lot of times. So what that tells you is an influential track. It's a track that, you know, crosses genres, crosses borders. It's such an iconic track, and you know, I implore you, if you don't know this track, check it out, listen to it, find it, and listen to it. And if you can find it on vinyl, grab that original copy, because it is a bit of musical history. And that's Bauhaus, Bela Lugosi's Dead. Awesome. Thank you very much.